What's up, YouTube? It's QahirTheConqueror here. Welcome back to my channel for yet again another video. Now, before I get started with this video, I would like to say if this video helps you in any way, and if you enjoy this video and any of my other content in any way, please drop a like on it and subscribe to my channel. That would help me a lot, and I would really appreciate it. YouTube. Guys, in this video, we're gonna explore dating and talk about dating. I have been blessed to have experienced love. I've been blessed to have loved and have been loved by partners in my life. I've been blessed to have had highs and lows, to have had, relatively speaking, successful relationships, and also, relatively speaking, unsuccessful relationships. I've been blessed to meet different kinds of people. I've learned a lot from my experiences. I've also learned a lot from my friends' experiences, from strangers' experiences, from what I see, what I hear, if that makes sense. One thing, if you don't know or don't believe, or if you're inexperienced or whatever it is, I want you to understand that dating is hard. Dating is not easy. Rich, poor, black, white, overweight, underweight, fit, straight, lesbian, gay, whatever. It doesn't matter. None of it is easy. And if it's easy, then you need to make a video and give us some advice. Specific things I've learned is that, number one, I've learned about myself. So I don't remember the source that I heard it or read it from or whatever I came across, but a relationship, especially like a substantial relationship, not just something where if there's no connection or baseline there, then, we got to be real. But where there's a baseline, whether it works or whether it doesn't, they're like a mirror. Your partner can reflect your energy towards them, your effort towards them, and vice versa. You also see, if you're cognizant and if you pay attention, but it's very hard to ignore, you see your effect on people, your level of influence, and if you energize people or if you drain them, if you uplift people or if you kill their desires and their dreams and goals, or if you break people down, whatever it is. And I'm not saying I am or aren't any of that, but they're a mirror. And sometimes that mirror isn't always a pleasant sight to look at. So as I've mentioned, I have learned a lot about myself from that mirrored perception from not only my partner, but the relationship. I think you're supposed to learn. One thing that I just notice and see a lot of people do is we don't take the time to work on ourselves. How many people truly take the time to work on themselves? As I mentioned, that mirror, I'm not going to pretend like I've gotten perfect each and every single time and have always gotten it right. No. We're human. And I'm a man, so, we're double human. We're going to make mistakes. You're going to make mistakes. Some of them will be redeemable. Some of them you can't. Some of them you'll be allowed second chances. Some of them you won't. Some of them will sever bonds completely. Some of them will have room for repair. That mirror highlights you and it puts you on the hot seat. And whether that mirrored perception and whatever you need to work on is a reason for the relationship to cease to exist, then what about taking the time in between, the little intermission between you and if you have another partner, you work on yourself? Because we have this perception and this thought process, and it could be true because there's billions of people, that the next person will deal with my stuff. The next person will deal with it. I'm fine. I ain't got to, all right, somebody else going. Okay, yes, there may be people out there. There are going to be people out there, but wouldn't it be better if you beat the cycle instead of kept it going over and over and over again? Like, have you not looked in the mirror and realized that there's a cycle I'm going through and it can't always be them? That's what I mean with that mirror. If you look inward and deeply, you don't even have to be as deep as I might sound. Like, just take time to think. Think, what did they say? How did they react? How did I affect them? And work on that. To reiterate, I have to admit, I have made mistakes. You grow and you learn and you mature, as I mentioned in a previous video. You can really only fault yourself to a degree if you don't learn and grow and do better. As long as you have time to live, you have time to grow, learn, and do better, to mature. From some of the mistakes I've made, some of the mistakes I've seen friends and peers or strangers make, some of those help me, if not many of them, become better partners for the people that came later. I didn't even really know how to do certain things and how to approach certain situations, and that's still a process, until it kind of went wrong or when things went awry. I don't want you to think that you or your partner is never going to make a mistake. Now, whatever you can put up with and whatever you can deal with and forgive, that's for you and them to decide, together or individually. But they're gonna happen regardless. All we can do is grow, reflect. And that's why I think if more people just try to work on themselves a little bit, improve the things that hindered the success of your relationship before. There was a connection, there were genuine feelings, there was love. At some point you wanted it to work. So if you're not with them anymore, okay, you might not be with them, but at some point you wanted it to work. And there were things that you and or them, usually it's two sides, dual-sided. Imagine if that little thing, or if those two or three or however many things you got going on, imagine if that didn't affect you. Imagine if you didn't let that get in the way, if they didn't let that get in the way. There's so much to be learned from our dating experiences. As I mentioned, I've learned a lot about myself. I've also learned what I can put up with. Learn what I kind of want, what I'm looking for, what I don't align with, what I don't think is best for me. And that can be rough to learn. To have to be in a situation that isn't designed for you to grow and thrive in, but to still do your best to navigate that situation, that can be draining. In many cases, it's necessary because you have to learn through experiences what is for you and what is not for you. Because if you're attracted, like many of us are, to looks and maybe like auras and personalities and vibes and things like that, you can be fooled. Or like, that only lasts so long. Go ask people who've been married, ask people who have been together for 10, 20 plus 30, whatever the situation is, years. That mutual attraction eventually will fade to a degree. Love is a fleeting emotional feeling. I'm going to make a video about that. Eventually, emotions and feelings, they fade and we fluctuate with our hormones and feelings in the moment. So, as I mentioned, sometimes those situations that kind of make us feel restrained and confined and boxed in and caged or whatever it is. Even if you go through things that may affect your perception of whatever it is you like, sometimes you kind of need it to happen so you can not only find what is for you, because that personality type is not for you, and you start to see patterns like, I've been through something similar before. I don't really think I want to just jump into this. You learn. And then you're pushed into the direction that is better for you. You also learn what you want. sometimes by not getting what it is that you want. Man, I just wish she would call me. I just wish he would text me more. I wish we had more time. I wish they were more romantic. You didn't get that, but your heart desired it. You desired it. Be realistic. But if it's a realistic expectation that don't cost $2 billion or, 20 stacks, you know what I mean? They don't have to be some 7 feet tall NBA players or supermodel, built. If it's something that a human being with maybe a couple dollars or it doesn't cost any money, if they can do it and you want that and you didn't get it, then nowadays you know what you want because you didn't get it. Dating is hard. It's not easy. 2 people have to come together to make it work. When there's a will, there's a way. But it takes 2. You should be able to grow individually and together. See, some people think, and I don't agree with it, that you should you're not 2 people stuck in one body. You're one person and you're another person with a life and with the life, and then there's an attraction, so you come together. But you're still 2 different people, even if you have similarities. So I think it's important for both of those people to understand you're not going to be the same person 6 months from now. Likely. There's going to be something different. You're not going to be the same person a year, 2 years, 4 years, 10 years, 20 years. You're going to go up and down with certain things, and you'll grow and regress, and there's a process of being a human. You got to be with somebody that's comfortable allowing you the freedom to grow, and it's important to grow. But you also just want to be with somebody that you can grow together with. See, there's so many nuances to dating, and we don't think about that. I didn't always think about it like that. She's pretty. I like her. She has a nice smile. She's sweet. Oh my gosh, I'm in love. And it's like, okay, that's a step. But all right, what else can we work with here? You can't always think that just because you have this to offer that's going to always maintain the sturdiness and the structure of your relationship. You don't have to be a cheater just to lose somebody. You don't have to be abusive and physically and verbally and emotionally abusive. You don't have to be a psychopath or a sociopath or a narcissist or a manipulator. You don't have to be any of that to lose somebody. You can lose somebody by not meeting them where they're at, by not being consistent, by not being there for them when they need you, by not being romantic. It's easier to lose somebody than it is to keep somebody. You have to pay attention to your partner because that's a person. You got to be delicate. Sometimes you have to be firm on your boundaries. Boundaries are important. But that is a person, and they have needs and desires and stuff like that, just like you. So communication is really important, but also showing up and putting the effort in for your partner is so necessary. But I want to say, if you feel like you either know somebody out there that you're close to getting, you're with somebody currently now that you really think and feel, and it's mutual, that you can build with, don't take them for granted, because good people with a good soul and good intentions and mentally stable and emotionally available, they don't grow on trees. If you have somebody good, hold them tight and build. Go through that together. Just because you get or you got somebody, it doesn't mean you have them forever. What attracted you to them, whether it was their overall look package, whether it was their style, whether it was how nice their smile was, or they're so funny and charismatic, whatever it is, if you were attracted to it and it attracts you, then somebody else probably might feel the same. So you want to do everything that you can to keep that partner, to keep that person happy. Don't lose yourself doing it. Date them forever. Don't just stop because you have an official title. Keep pursuing them. Keep striving to maintain their attention and to woo them and seduce them. You have to be okay walking away. You have to be able to let go when necessary, because people are not our possessions. You don't possess your partner. Anybody who thinks that way, male, female, whatever else, It's wrong. It's improper. That is a person. And no matter how good you think things are, no matter how sweet, how nice, how beautiful, how romantic, or how whatever it is you think you are, or you think the connection is, they have the right, if they feel and want to walk away. They're not a possession, they're a person. So appreciate what you have while you have it, and them while they're there. Thank you. Stay tuned. See you for the next one.